Okay.
Welcome to Hypnotic Talk with Miri and Neota, where we discuss all things hypnosis. So our individual practices have evolved into very different specialties over the years, but we have remained connected through our mutual love of hypnotic healing. We meet here and we share our knowledge and our stories from our professional practices to help people get comfortable with the process of hypnotherapy. Today, we are talking about anxiety, which is such an enormous topic. We're going to talk about the way that hypnosis and hypnotherapy can be very effective in managing anxiety. And actually, what brought Miri to hypnotherapy is an anxiety issue. And so Miri is going to share her story straight off.
Yeah.
Thank you for being patient with my mispronunciations.
That's cool. So, hi. Yeah, I got into hypnosis because I lived with anxiety for many, many years, like for, I don't know, all my life. And it got to the point when I had full-on panic attacks. I wouldn't say every day, but close to that. And I was so nervous that it started to manifest itself physically. My hand was shaking. I went to see doctors to make sure it's not any kind of illnesses. And they told me, no, you're okay, but check further. Are you seeing anyone? And I said, no, I had many different therapists that I worked with in the past. I think since I was 10, my parents thought
Wow.
it's good thing to talk to someone else, which I think it's amazing. And so on and off, I was seeing therapists, but it was good for the time it went on. But after that, I didn't have any tools to support me. And so when I went on a family trip, and there it was huge panic attack, and we came back, and I thought, okay, I need to do something, but this time it needs to be something different. And because of a friend who came for a visit long time ago, she was a hypnotherapist, and I asked her, like, do you think it will help this and that? And my daughter at the time was a thumb sucker, so I asked, do you think it will help her? And she said, yeah, it's really good, it will help this and that and so many other things. So I thought, okay, I want something that is faster than talk therapy, and I want tools. And so I started to search for a hypnotherapist. It was like 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago. And it wasn't like as popular, I think, as today. So it took me some time to find a hypnotherapist that I feel comfortable with. Luckily today there are so many options, but then there weren't so many.
Well, that one thing about hypnotherapy is it is definitely becoming more mainstream.
Yeah.
It used to be woo-woo.
So
sorry, go on.
No, that's fine. This person wasn't woo at all. And it really resonated with me because I wasn't woo at all. I was very, I'm a very analytical person, and I needed to see the steps, and the way to lead me to the resolution or solution.
Yeah.
So he showed me and he gave me tools, and we did a few sessions. And I think all we did actually was 2 sessions. And the second session was a follow-up.
Yeah.
I was so determined that I repeated it so many times at home. But through working with him, I was able to expand my personal growth and learn other things. But one thing stayed with me, that I want to do the same. I want to learn a little bit more about hypnosis and how it worked. And this is why I enrolled to the hypnosis school. And yeah, and of course it was only the beginning. But what happened after is that through his help and through me opening my eyes and broadening my my vision and my mind, my conscious, I was noticing many other things that I now can use, and I was absorbing me as witnessing my own processes. And I can tell you that I don't have any more panic attacks 9 years later. And
Amazing.
and my anxiety, sometimes, it goes up, but it's not anything like it used to be. And
Right.
I do think that it's due to what I learned through hypnosis. Of course,
So tell me about that, Miri. Be a little more specific about that. You went for one session with him,
no,
and
2 sessions with him.
but you went for one and then the follow-up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so in your first session, he got you into hypnosis and he addressed the way you feel. Is that correct? Tell me about that.
He basically he confused me in a way that I wasn't thinking of much.
Yes.
So for the first time, I noticed how it feels like to not think of anything.
Right.
And just to realize that we can turn down or quiet down, or maybe even turn off the part of us that is overthinking.
Yes.
For me, it was amazing. It was like, how no one taught me that before. That was my my first thought. But of course, we only learn what we are able to absorb at the time.
Yeah.
So,
And so my understanding, Miri, is that anxiety is sort of, so human animals, all animals are installed with fear responses, keeps us alive, right? And so like being in the face of a predator or being on a precipice that we could fall off and or like high speeds, like things that are physically harmful to us because we're mortal.
yeah.
And so we have installed fear. It's a primal emotion that we have that keeps us alive when it is applied properly. So sometimes what will happen is we will have a fear response to something, and our entire physical body will respond, because that's what is supposed to happen. We're supposed to be able to like run away if we need to, or make calculated ideas like how to survive this imminent danger. And so sometimes our brains will create a scenario of danger where there isn't one, but our body doesn't know the difference between reality and ideas. And so it will activate the fear responses, or the cortisol release, and it will activate like adrenaline, and it will create like actually our organs engage for fear response and for survival. But because it was just an idea and not an actual threat, now all of this activated stuff inside of us is like, well, we're not running anywhere. We don't have, and so all of that stuff just starts like pinging around inside of our physical bodies, and it has no outlet. And then it just creeps. So then it's just this ongoing spiral of a physical response to a non-event.
Yeah.
And then it becomes habitual. It's like, remember that time you got all scared? Yes, I do.
Exactly. And I think it starts with us understanding that we are mortal.
Yes.
Because I don't know if other animals understand whether they are mortal or not, but I read somewhere that human beings are the only creatures who can understand that their life will come to an end at a specific time. We don't
Oh,
know what
isn't
time.
that interesting?
Yeah,
Because I would say, like, it's they're so primal. Like, it's actually amazing to me how animals in the wild respond to threats and danger. But anyways, we're not going to digress down there. But that's very, very interesting. That's something very interesting. But yes, the mortality is why
I think
why.
why we hold on to the fear, to the anxiety, to those emotions, and why we're not able to let go so easily, because yeah, rescue dog will behave differently, usually differently than a dog that was born in a very safe environment.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
um, but if we human can nurture this dog, then eventually, in most cases, the dog can manage like normal life and sometimes even
yeah,
happy
yeah.
life. For us, it's a bit different because of the way we analyze things, because our understanding, it's a bit different, and then we keep the fear or the anxiety with us in times where we can actually let go of it.
Right, right. So we have the same sort of primal response, like a learned response to danger or, um, you know, imminent threats, which we experience. And so then we have the learned responses, which is an emotional response, which activates the physical and the mental, and it will continue to spiral in a lot of people. I mean, and there's no formula. You can't say you are going to have anxiety, you are not going to have anxiety. It's it's nature, nurture, it's all of the things that play
Right.
into it. But the people who do suffer from anxiety, like yourself, it will almost always progress to a point where it becomes debilitating in certain situations.
Yeah.
And the coping
Until
skills, yep,
yeah, until we decide to change it.
until we
And
decide to
and
change.
yeah, and then we need to find someone we trust. And
Right.
I think the first step to change is our own decision. Something is
Yep.
not working for us, and this is why we want to do something about it. We want to
Yep.
operate in a different way.
Yep. Yep. And to know that there are options that are like organic. They're not a prescription, or right, like there are options that people can employ, like you know cognitive behavior therapy is one method that is also effective. um
I think
there are
like everything is effective. Talk therapy is effective.
exactly.
Like otherwise, there weren't like there weren't so many psychologists and counselors, right? But
Yeah.
I think what like for me, what matters is the trust that I have with the person, the
Ah,
therapist, the professional that I work with,
yeah.
to understand and to trust them to show me a different way that I can manage myself.
I like that. Now, what I think about hypnotherapy is that it is where talk therapy meets meditation. So it's engaging our cognitive thought processes, our ability to reason, like to know, okay, well, there's no reason for, people are anxious public speaking. And
Mhm.
obviously it's because you're in front of people and there's judgments. And I mean, you can reason why you have that, but
Yeah,
it still creates an emotional response. And to me, that is why hypnotherapy works so much more effectively. It's like a life hack.
yeah, but
Because it
I think the meditation is something a bit different than the normal meditation that people think of. Um,
I'm so sorry.
So I think meditation is something a little bit different. It's not the, you do nothing and you just think of nothing and you relax. The meditation,
Right.
I think, in hypnosis, what you're referring to, and correct me if I'm wrong, is tapping into our resources.
Yes.
Almost like copying and paste like copy and paste from a different situation in our life where we are capable where we can do things, and paste this capability, this ability, into the area where we feel hopeless or hopelessness.
Yeah. Well, I think it merges thoughts and emotions. It's a way to make that bridge within our minds, because it's bringing up both the rational way to think about things, or the exploratory, the ability to make decisions or to think things through, but also the emotion that we have, because emotions are so irrational. They don't,
Yeah,
you can't reason with an emotion. It just is what it is. But in hypnotherapy, it's that ability to bring that up and apply it with the thought process, the decision making, the reasoning, and able to reframe the emotion into a place where it is a healthier
yeah, absolutely.
response.
And it's also the ability to dissociate from an event or from a trigger and to see it in a different way. So there are
Yeah.
so many options in hypnosis. I'm sure in other therapies too, but we are hypnotherapists, and
Yeah.
we can speak to that. There are so many options in hypnosis, and the thing is that it's to change the feeling, to change the fear, to change the anxiety, to change the stressful state that we are in, takes
Yep.
only a few sessions. And so within few sessions, you gain tools and you gain, knowledge, and you activate
Yeah.
your inner resources so you can feel much better.
Exactly. Yes. And you respond more more health, or like with more inner strength about situations. You start to take control of your emotions, so they're not controlling you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You see them for what they are rather than for what you make out of them.
Yeah, good way to put it. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
that is why hypnotherapy for anxiety.
and I think we have lots to talk about anxiety and hypnosis, and how people can improve their situation with hypnosis, or with working with hypnotherapists on their anxious states. And we'll do it in the next few podcasts, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, we will continue talking about this. It's such a huge subject, and there's so many applications and so many ways that anxiety presents itself. So yeah, it's a
Yeah,
big topic.
absolutely. So for now, thank you for staying with us. And of course, like always, we'd love to hear your hypnotic questions. So please subscribe to our channel. And if it was any interest for you or tickle your curiosity, just let us know. Until next time, Neota and Miri. Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.